I remember me and him talking while humping, saying that, dude, it's an antidepressant. When football's here, there's something we can talk about. There's something we look forward to, something we can vet our anger at. I love football. How many like big moments in my life football has been there. And one of the things that we would just do, that I started doing, is we would just hump everything. Football is an antidepressant, right? Would you agree? I had season tickets there for 12 years, right? And our section has the most season ticket holders than any other section in the stadium. Just be like, I would walk up, someone would be like prepping something, and I'd walk up next to them, just start humping, and be like, yeah, dude, so what'd you do on Saturday? You know what I mean? You can hump all over a kitchen, but it doesn't matter. You'll never hump anything as much as you love football.
Enjoy the show.
Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI.
Hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the one and only Bern Podcasy. On this show, we'll be asking AI the hard-hitting questions and seeing if AI truly has all the answers. There's no question too crazy, no inquiry too outrageous, and no query too queer. AI may have all the answers, but we're here to prove that you can't have great answers without great questions. If you'd like to send us some questions to Ask AI, please comment on this episode or message us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. Also, please remember to check out all of our shows, airing Tuesdays at 5 a.m. and Fridays at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight's question is, why is football the best? Enjoy the show.
Why is football the best?
Nuts on the chin of that intro.
Master of your craft. I say it every week, but it's never any less impressive.
Nuts on the chin, Daddy-O. Bern, we're live here and in person for the first time on Ask AI. You excited?
It's great to be back in the same room. It's great to get that Matty Lavelle musk up in my nostrils. I miss that dark hair. I miss those big, broad shoulders.
Well, they're all yours, Poppy Jewel. All yours, at least for the next half hour. Let's get to talking. It's football season, and things are finally kicking off. I'll tell you, there's something in the air, and it might just be the city of Philadelphia, but we love us some foosball around here. And when the Eagles win, it's a great city to live in. When the Eagles lose, you might as well just fucking kill yourself. Bern, before we get to all that, we got a couple things we got to talk about. First thing, speaking of football, your boy old Uncle Matty has got a fun fact.
Ooh, love the fun fact section.
I know you love a good fun fact. Bern, are you ready for your fun fact?
I've been waiting all day for it.
In the late 1800s, when jeans were first invented, most men used pocket watches for timekeeping. Jeans were designed with this small pocket that was the perfect size to hold these watches, keeping them safe while the wearer was working.
That is a fun fact. That's a fun fact. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, fucking that's the fun fact. We're moving on to dad joke. Just so you know, you hear this tension in my voice? It's because it took me 10 fucking tries to read the fucking fun fact. And that's why I'm fucking angry. Fucking leaving it in.
No nuts on that chin.
No nuts on the fucking fun fact. I'll tell you that. The fucking fun fact put its nuts on me.
I mean, it would appear so, yeah. It would appear so.
Right.
But it's okay. We got a lot of pod left to get this train back on the tracks.
All right. Well, that was the fun fact. Let's keep it moving. Bern, I got a joke for you.
Matt, I swear to God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it.
All right. Are you ready?
Just tell the goddamn joke.
Tonight's joke. Bern, when is a door not a door?
When is a door not a door?
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds more interesting than the last one. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
When it's a jar.
You son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Jesus. If we weren't, I'm gonna take a few deep breaths.
Please do.
I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. I want to throw this glass of water at your head right now, but we took all this time to make sure things are lined up right. And we're finally in the same room together. And I thought maybe that would make things better when you tell these awful jokes, but it really makes me want to smash your face in right now. And it's so close. But the fact that this is your show and that I'm positive you could beat me up, I'm I'm just gonna sit here. You son of a bitch.
I mean, it's our show, Bern. It's our show.
Doesn't always
Without...
feel like it, Matt. Doesn't always feel like it.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving on down the road. That was the dad joke, or the joke. I guess I don't know why it's got to be fucking dads are funny. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, they're still men. Men are funny.
I know
But either way.
lots of funny dads. I'm not looking at one right now, but I know lots of funny dads.
Yeah, you're definitely not. But let's keep it moving. Keep it on moving down the road. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's have about it. Let's do about it. I'll tell you this. I love football, right? Like there is like this time of year, it can like the seasonal depression thing, I think is a real gimmick. This time of year, September, early October, the weather's still nice, it's still warm, there's still sun, kids are out playing, having a good time. We didn't get the hour change gimmick yet, right? Like things are still good. Okay. Start of the season, things are still good. This Things will start to suck soon. We'll have the holidays, which makes things suck worse, right? Because then not only is the weather shitty, it's cold, it's miserable out, people are depressed, you can't go outside all the time, and then, yeah, I got to spend thousands of dollars on people that probably don't give a shit about me, right? There's
Sure.
that. That's the
There's that.
holidays in a nutshell, basically. And then every once in a while, some jackass wants to get married around the holidays and they ask you to be in a groomsman or something. Dude, if someone asks you to be a groomsman, right? Just a groomsman, they're basically asking you to spend $2,000. If they ask you to be a best man, they're asking you to spend at least $5,000. Is that right? Bern.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I didn't have a best man at my wedding. Maybe
I did.
maybe I should have. But yeah, it's a huge commitment, and getting married around the holiday. I mean, there's enough to do, right? Like we got all worked up around the holidays because it's a tremendous amount of stress. It's a tremendous amount of preparation. It's a tremendous amount of money. Like that one day is fun. It's just all the weeks leading up to it that suck. So I feel like we should really do it better. And I've already seen the Halloween stuff out. I love Halloween, but like I don't need to buy Halloween stuff in September. And I know that before Halloween even hits, there's going to be Christmas shit everywhere. And I think if we could just keep the holidays to the holiday, it would be so much more enjoyable for everyone involved. But we're bird walking a little bit. I couldn't agree more with what you said. Right now, busted out the sweatpants the other day. It's a little brisk, but it's still pleasant to be outside.
Yeah.
We got college football on Saturdays. We got NFL football on Sundays. It really is one of the most
Bern,
fantastic times of the year.
can I ask you this, Bern?
Sure.
Do you have a favorite hoodie this time of year when you break it out? You're like, oh, my old friend,
Oh,
you're back. I've missed you so much. We've done so much. You, me, this hoodie. Oh, I got a beautiful Carhartt zip up. Oh, every year. I can't wait to throw that puppy on. You know what I mean?
I
But,
opened my sweatpants drawer the other day, and I was like,
oh, oh,
"Hello, darkness, my old friend."
yeah, babe. Yeah.
We're gonna be real
That's
close.
that's something I think like That's a real thing that you don't realize, especially till you get older, when you're like, let's get the sweats back. Come on, babe. Let's get some sweats on. I love to,
Is
honestly, I love that it's become a style too to have the matching sweatsuit, right? The shirt and the pants, the sweatshirt and the pants. I love it. I'm all for it. I love rocking, and we'll probably do it again in our store when it reopens. But I have several sets of the matching Working Perspectives podcast sweatpants and sweatshirt and sweatpants, and I look fly as hell.
yeah, you do.
Fly as hell with
Yeah, you
that
do.
shit. Maybe a pair of Air Maxes, maybe a pair of J's. Fucking just, I'm beating them off with a stick, daddy. I'm telling you. Sweatpants and football go together. That's a fact.
There's a lot of ways that society is going completely to hell, but one of the ways it's not is now like the modern acceptance of like sweat clothes
Hmm.
not being like,
Hmm.
the lowest common denominator. Like they had to rebrand it. They call it
Hmm.
athleisure or whatever.
Hmm.
But like the fact that
Hmm.
it's more acceptable in the mainstream to wear nothing but sweatpants when the weather hits a certain thing, that's
Yeah.
one way I think the world is improving, drastically improving, and finally, frankly, catching up to my aesthetic because I've been
Hmm.
ahead of this game for a long, long time.
Damn right. Damn right. I'll tell you this. You know who's someone who's got it right? Co-host Strong Stem Steve Cabot. He's often, often been praised of his ingenuity, but one of the things he was just genius on, and this honestly was 20 years ago, when we'd go out to the bar, he'd be wearing his good sweatpants, right? Because he has his everyday sweatpants and his work sweatpants, but then when he goes to the bar, he's got his good sweatpants on. That's a guy that knows comfort. That's a guy that knows how to enjoy life.
One thing my wife hated about me amongst the litany of things was when I would take a
Right.
pair of sweatpants and I'd match them with
Bern,
a
I hate to interrupt you, and I feel like a dick for saying this, but shouldn't you be saying your ex-wife?
not yeah, I mean, yeah, not yet. Not I mean, it's in the works,
Fuck,
but
dude, I should no, I'm gonna cut that. I
no,
shouldn't
you
have
can leave.
fucking
No, no,
said
no,
that.
you can leave it. You can leave it.
All right, I'll leave it. But I
Yeah,
fucking
no.
shouldn't have said that. I do want to say this. You breezed over the best man thing real quick. Were you saying that you didn't have a best man and maybe you should have because
Maybe I cursed my marriage, yeah, from the very beginning by not having a best man. I mean, I'm sure it's more complicated than that, but
Dude, I had a best man and a head groomsman. I was like, I'm covering it all. I can't let this one get away. You
oh,
kidding me?
you're
She's the
safe.
only one that puts up with my shit.
Yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have made more people officially keep an eye on that thing.
Yeah. What are you
But
gonna do?
my soon to be ex-wife hated it when I would match up a pair of sweatpants with a nice button down flannel.
Oh, great
Uh,
look. Great
I
look.
it is a great look. I stand by it. And I
Yeah.
can't wait this fall to match up my
To
sweatpants with button down flannels and not have anybody side eyeing me or giving me a bag of shit over it because
cause fuck him.
Nobody cares what I wear anymore.
Damn right, man. Well, I mean, I care, but that says you always look great. I just want to let you know. Let's not, we're talking about professional football, but let's not forget how incredible college is, right? Like football across the board is awesome. I love like every facet of it. Even like you ever watch the destroying videos? Like they do the one-on-one wide receiver
Yeah,
gimmick. So good. You know what else I've been stumbling on that are awesome? They have lineman one-on-ones. Have you ever seen those? Where
no, I've only seen
they
the
put like
receiver
a
D-back.
so it's like they have the linemen line up, right? And it'll be like a defensive tackle and a offensive tackle, whatever, right? And they'll have like a dummy behind them, like a standing dummy, and the D tackle's got to get there, and the offensive tackle's got to stop him. Obviously, those are the fucking rules. But dude, when you see like, dude, there's this one where this guy tries to bull rush this lineman, and he just will whap, flattens him, stomps on. Oh, it was awesome. But then there's a couple where you got a D lineman that's just trucking dudes. Yeah, it's like, dude, it's awesome because these boys are going at it, babe. But like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But it was like every facet of it. It's great, right? It is, dude. There's something about it. I remember we used to work with a cook named Tom Petruzzo. Remember Tommy
I
Petruzzo?
remember Tommy. Absolutely.
Tommy Petruzzo. Good Tommy
Great guy.
Petruzzo. I'll tell you, he was pretty funny. Hilarious story. Do you remember Teacup?
Of course, I remember Teacup.
So I was working in the kitchen. It was me, Tommy Petruzzo, and Teacup, right? And Teacup was the manager at this time, right? When I worked in the kitchen, your boy, like, I'm a vibes guy. You know what I mean? I like to be a locker room vibes guy. And the kitchen is a boys club, and it's a locker room vibes guy, right? And it's a
100%.
locker room, and I went in there, and I'm a locker room vibes guy. I'm keeping the energy high. I'm making jokes. I'm singing. If I got drugs, we're all doing them. It's a great time, right?
Ultimate glue guy, Matty. You're always
Oh,
an ultimate glue guy in those
love,
situations.
love being a glue guy. Love being a glue guy, right? So I'm in there, and one of the things that we would just do that I started doing is we would just hump everything, right? Like, we're humping the counter. There was a corner where, like, the counter was, we would just hump, dude. We would fucking just be like, I would walk up, someone would be like prepping something, and I'd walk up next to them, just start humping, and be like, yeah, dude, so what'd you do on Saturday? You know what I mean? Right? And then there's a pizza maker. We're humping the pizza maker. We're humping the fryer. We're humping the ovens. We're humping the stove. We're humping the prep station. We're humping and I started doing it. Everyone started doing it. You'd walk over, you'd get a cake out of the fridge, like the whatever fridge, you'd hump a little, right? You'd walk behind a guy, you're humping. You're walking in front of a guy, you're humping. It was Hump City back there, right?
Most of the guys in that kitchen I can see catching on to that, but please tell me how Teacup reacted to it, because he was
Teacup,
not
he was not
humping
on the
guy.
hump train.
I
Teacup was
didn't think he
not on
was.
the
I didn't
Teacup
think
was
so.
short for Tecumseh, for everyone
Tecumseh,
listening.
yeah.
Yep. Teacup was not on the hump train, right? But me and Tommy Petruzzo, we was on the hump train. And we were the
Teacup
conductors. We were the conductors of that hump train, Daddy.
Teacup
Right?
was a very super nice, sweet, like
Super
soft
nice.
spoken guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He I think he looked more serious than he actually was, but he was like very
Yeah.
business oriented and like
Super, yeah, super. And he had gotten like a sous chef gimmick, so he really was like trying to do a good job. Like, he would stay late, like extra counts, like he was like ultra whatever, and he was helpful too. You know what I mean? Like, if you needed something or something was whatever, he would just do it. He wouldn't rub it in your face either. He just did his shit, right? Like, he just made sure shit was perfect.
yeah,
He
a
was
real
actually really
pro.
good.
A
He
real
was
pro's
awesome.
pro.
Yeah. And like, dude, but he was a whack job. Like, I remember I asked him, I was like, dude, what's your favorite movie? And he was like, Spanglish. And I was like the Adam Sandler movie, Spanglish? And he's like, well, yeah, he's a cook. And I was like, so that's your favorite movie?
Your
Because he was a
favorite movie?
fucking cook? And because you work in a kitchen? Like, I was like, what? Dude, what was your favorite movie before this? You know, like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? So either way, so we're I'm standing at my station. I was the grill and pizza guy, right? Grill, pizza, and fryer. That was my station. And
That's a big
then
station.
Tom was either saute, so he was either doing the saute shit, or he might have been in the pantry where you do like salads and
And
cold
desserts.
antipasto and desserts,
Yeah.
right? So Tom was over at the salad station, right, which was around the corner from me, and
You
I'm at
want
the pizza station, and he walked in, and I was already humping, and he just started humping, right? And we're like standing there just humping, humping. Fuck. We're standing there just humping our stations, and we look over, and standing at a sink is Teacup, and I look at Tom, and Tom looks at me, and we didn't even say anything, and we just went over and both started humping Teacup at the same time.
oh
It
poor
was,
poor
dude, and Teacup's
Tecumseh.
like, what are you doing? What are you doing, guys? Guys, what are we doing? Let's get back to work, guys. Come on. What are you doing? You know? And I'm
Uh,
like, yeah, your favorite movie Spanglish, isn't it, Teacup?
I think it's pretty obvious what we're doing, Teacup. We're getting our hump on. It's a Sunday
Dude, I
afternoon.
remember fucking Tom Petruzzo was legit fucking crying. I hope I'm saying his last name right. I think it's Petruzzo. Petrullo, whatever.
No, no,
Fucking
no, no,
some
no.
Tommy
He
the
was in
Guinea,
there.
whatever the fuck we could call him. Tommy the Wop. But yeah, that dude. I mean, that's what we just humped every fucking poor teacup. But either way, the reason I
Hey,
brought up Tommy Petrullo was
Petruzzo.
Tommy Petruzzo. The reason I brought up Tommy Petruzzo is because I remember me and him talking while humping, saying that, dude, it really is like an antidepressant, football. It's an antidepressant. When football's here, there's something we can talk about. There's something we look forward to, something we can vet our anger at. Dude, I'll tell you, I had season tickets for the Birds for 12 years, right? And like, it was like a release down there. Either way, win or lose, you're getting a lot of fucking frustrations out down there, man. It was like a lot of energy down, and it still is, right? High energy place. It's a high energy place, and you're going down there. It's an all day energy thing, you know? So I don't know. For me, I agreed with that statement where football is an antidepressant for sure. So, like I'm saying, man, I mean, I agree with Tom Petruzzo, and I agree with the statement that football is an antidepressant, right? Would you agree?
I couldn't agree more, Matty. I mean, you know me. We spend a lot of time together in our 20s and early 30s, and like Notre Dame games at my house
Oh,
were the most
daddy.
fun thing that was going to happen all week. We'd
Yeah.
get a keg, we'd have a rotating cast of characters. You had your staples, but you never knew who was going to come by. Anybody could show up for those things. We had bagpipers, we had celebrities, we had Joe Schmoes off the street. But like thinking about some of the best times I had living in that
Yeah.
flop house in
Yeah.
Fairmount,
Yeah.
a lot of it revolved around football. It was the greatest. We used to order like Germantown pizza multiple times. Like we'd call them at like 9:30 at night, and they'd be like, "Again?" And we're like, "We got a whole new cast of people here, man. We got a whole new crew."
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
early the 1 o'clockers have left, but a
We
whole
got
new
the
crew
late
showed
game.
up for the late game.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and also like I just did a fantasy football draft, right? And I know we bitched
yeah.
about the guy who talks about fantasy football, but like I just did a draft before the season started, and it is year 18 of our league. And like
Wow.
just to see those dudes, like I've obviously
Yeah.
like my brothers are in the league and stuff, so like I
Right.
see them, but like just to know that once a year we get to
Yeah.
take it out and chop it up, and I
Yeah.
get to see all those
Yeah.
dudes, and we get to break balls, and we get to tell old funny stories, and we get to like
Yeah.
it's all based around fantasy football, but fantasy football is really just an excuse to get together with a bunch of people
Yeah.
and break their stones and
Yeah.
find a way to stay connected. And
Yeah.
as per usual, my youngest brother Pulaski kicked the shit out of me week 1, which I feel like happens
You
every
know
single
what's
year.
you
I
know
hate
what's
his team,
crazy?
and I go, man, his team sucks, and every single year he beats the shit out of me. And that happened again this year, so football season has officially begun. I've got
But
my
you
ass
know
handed
what's
to me by
wild
Pulaski.
is that your fantasy league is generational. And like I remember when Pulaski got into the league, like his first
Yeah,
year, and it was a big deal,
it
because it
was.
was like, oh, Pulaski's gonna do this now. And he showed up game ready. But dude, think about this, man. Like eventually your son's gonna be in that league, I think. Like
We
imagine that, right?
we already
Like
have one guy, Connor, and he does the draft with his son Moose, who's like 10. And
dude,
like Moose was on the Skype this or on the Zoom this year, like
that's
making
incredible,
picks.
man.
So that's the goal. The
That's
dream, the dream one day is to turn it over, let the younger generation run it. But like, yeah, it's already starting to happen.
oh
It's kind of
my
wild.
God. Incredible, babe.
For those of you who don't know, when Matt says that he had tickets to the Birds for 12 years, he and his brother Tom ran a section essentially. Like
Yep.
they were kind of the pit bosses of the section,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
you guys were responsible for setting that tone,
Yeah.
and that's a job you guys took very, very seriously.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. So, Bern, you're absolutely right. So the way it was, and we found it, dude, like I was there, I had season tickets there for 12 years, right? And our section had the most season ticket holders in the section at the most season ticket holders than any other section in the stadium, right? and we were an upper level section too, right? But it was very beginning. We were very beginning of the second level, right? Or the
Okay.
upper level, I guess you should say. And the way it works is that like we were at the bottom, so like the fight song's going, right? The chants are going, like we're leading the crew. You know what I mean? Like we're getting stuff going, like, and we knew everyone that went there. Like we would see them all every year. You know, like we'd see them 8 times a year, 10 if you went to the preseason, which we called those the girlfriend games. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like. It's
Sure.
like, oh, dude, go. I want to go to a game one of these days. Sure, we're playing the Dolphins. Let's go. Yeah,
It's
they're playing
August. Let's
Dolphins
do it.
preseason. Yeah. It's the second week of August, but no. So, but yeah, you're right, and it was a big thing. But you know what's crazy too, and I was thinking about this, Bern, is like how many like big moments in my life football has been there. You know, and like you remember these massive, massive moments and like you get these huge emotional rushes from these different football related incidents. Dude, I was at the Silver Linings playbook game, 44-6 game, incredible, right? I was at NFC Championship game, divisional round games, like dude, I was also I'll tell you this, we had 10 straight home losses during the Chip Kelly end of Andy Reid to Chip Kelly era, right?
Okay.
Which means 10, dude, there's only 8 home games a year.
Yeah.
So we had over a whole season's worth of losses in a row, right?
Oh,
Like, and these tickets, I'm not fucking Daddy Warbucks here. These tickets ain't cheap. You know what I mean, Daddy?
I hear
So
you.
I don't know. I don't know. But there's like, I've so many times like football related things, but then also like I played football and I fucking loved it. My favorite sport by far to play. It was the best, dude. Like nothing like being on a team, nothing like the camaraderie you have with football and the different things you get to do. And now it's even more jazzed up than when we were coming up, right? Like if you're a starting football player now, you're basically like a god, right? Like you're just a legend at this point. At least that's what it seems like in the social world, right?
Yeah, you're
But
writing your own ticket.
But dude, football is so big now. Like, there's a lady I work with whose son is in 8th grade, who's been actively being recruited for the last 2 years to play football at major prep schools. Right? Like, could you imagine if that's your job? Is that you're recruiting 7th and 8th graders?
Yeah,
to
you're
be-
watching the sixth grade tape.
yeah. And you're like, oh man, I gotta get this kid to be on my freshman team.
To
I want to
tell you
get,
what, once this kid hits puberty, he's gonna be a real wrecking ball.
look at this kid. He's a tree trunk. Come on. Oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's massive. It's crazy how massive football has gotten. So I don't know, but it's the best. There's no second. Like, Bern, did you ever play organized football?
I never did. I never played organized football. I was always a soccer guy.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I wish I would have played for a year or two just to experience it.
Your thoughts, Bern, before we get to AI, what do you think makes football the greatest game there is?
All right, listen, we got it happens at an incredible time of the year.
Ah, facts.
It now I know football is now on Thursdays and Mondays and Saturday, whatever, but like it's pretty much got its own day dedicated to it. And then you have all of the like side football things, like you got the fantasy leagues, you got gambling has become a huge thing now. But like you got the announcers on the games giving little winks. You know what I mean? You're hoping to hit your parlay, and all of a sudden, it's not like the old days where Musburger would just have to go like, "Oh, and the Buckeyes are up by 4. That's gonna make some people very unhappy." Like now on
Yeah,
the broadcast, they're just like, "Ah, the spread
yeah,
was 3.5."
yeah.
And I mean,
And
like
that's every
I
game, college and pro.
every game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that is just football like orbit that brings
Mm.
people to it. But I think for me, it's the time of the year, it's the camaraderie, and it's the fact that it gives me an excuse to say horrible, horrible things to some of the people I love the most in the world.
You know what's crazy, Bern? The Kansas City Chiefs, right? This is how big football's gotten. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to play on every day of the week this year, except for Tuesday.
That's
Wild.
nuts. It's taken over.
Nuts.
It's completely taken
Taking
over, and
over.
I'm all here. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. So, are you
And
ready to ask AI what they think?
also, let's not forget we glanced over one thing.
Oh,
Is
tell me.
there a bigger event in sports than the Super Bowl?
No. I once tried to compare WrestleMania in an argument. I tried to compare WrestleMania to the Super Bowl, but not even close, dude.
They laughed you out of the bar.
Not even close. And WrestleMania is the showcase of the immortals. It's a big deal, but yeah. I mean, the Super Bowl, I mean, I love seeing like the astronomical numbers for advertising at the Super Bowl. It's like $300 million for a minute of advertising during the Super Bowl. Like that's wild.
I think the last Super Bowl was broadcast in 80 countries live.
That's incredible. Incredible. And like what, over a billion people?
Yeah, there's no event that even comes close to
Yeah.
competing with Super Bowl Sunday.
No yearly event. No yearly
No,
event.
no
Olympics
annual
and
event.
World Cup are the only things that come close, but they're every 4 years. Yeah. No yearly
Yeah,
event. No annual event. No, not even close. Nice. So, okay. Love it. Perfect. Are you ready to ask our friend Alan Iverson what he thinks?
let's see if the question has an answer.
All right. You ready? So, I said, hello, AI. Can you please tell me why football is the best? We're getting a little, you know what, Bern? We're getting more and more of this. We're getting a little more personality from old Alan this week. You
Okay,
know,
good. Well, maybe we're
it
developing a
starts,
rapport. Maybe
yeah,
he knows us a little
yeah,
better and
yeah,
start to be a little more conversational.
yeah. So I asked AI and I said, hello, AI, can you please tell me why is football the best? And this is what they said. They said, the eternal debate which sport reigns supreme. While many sports have their passionate advocates, football often tops the list for several compelling reasons. First, strategy and skill. Football is a complex game that requires a combination of physical prowess, strategic thinking, and teamwork. Each play is a microcosm of strategy and execution. Two, emotional intensity. The highs and lows of football are unmatched. The thrill of a last second touchdown or the heartbreak of a missed field goal can leave fans on the edge of their seats. And then it goes on to say community and tradition. Football often serves as a rallying point for communities. Very true, even at the high school level. Fostering a sense of belonging and shared experiences, traditions like tailgating, cheering sections, and rivalries create a unique atmosphere. Oh, I forgot about that. The rivalries. Oh, God. Nothing better than a good rivalry, right? And
Especially
then
especially
also,
in like high school. You know what I mean? Like
oh,
a real high school
yeah,
rivalry
yeah.
is
A
the
type,
best.
yeah, agreed. High school is the best, but then, like, college is on a national scale, so it's not as tight, but like those high school ones, that is the best because it's literally like your neighbor.
It's
And
generational too.
dude, the Turkey Bowl, like the Thanksgiving Day game, that is legit. That's a riot. Like that's a gang fight for the year. You know what I mean? Like it's the best. It then goes on to say global appeal. Whether you're talking about American football or soccer, the sport has a massive global following. It unites people from different cultures and backgrounds. And then physicality and athleticism is the last thing. The athleticism and physicality displayed in football is awe-inspiring. That is true. The player's strength, speed, and agility are a testament to the human body's capability. Of course, the best sport is subjective and often depends on personal preference. But if you're looking for a combination of strategy, excitement, community, and athleticism, football is a strong contender. Bern, your thoughts?
That was very well put. Yeah, I mean, we missed so much too. There's so much to it, like the
Yeah,
tailgate. We talked about
yeah,
the food a little bit earlier.
yeah,
The idea that football is actually like a violent chess match is
yeah,
how it differs from like a lot of other sports. Like, I mean, you have these huge behemoth people with
mhm,
guys who are 350 pounds and are still running like a 4.640, like athletic
oh,
freaks. But
dude,
it is the total team game because if one
yeah,
guy blows his assignment,
yeah,
play's not going
yeah,
to work. Um,
yeah,
so it really is it is a much more intellectual game than like all sports have strategy, but like if you're watching a basketball game, the team with the five best basketball players is going to beat the other team.
right,
Not
right, right.
necessarily the case in a football game.
Yeah. So, Bern, I mean, any one last, we're heading towards the top of time. Do you have any other heartfelt expressions for the game of football?
Here's how great football is.
Tell
Okay. Notre Dame
me.
absolutely shit the bed and blew their season to
Dude.
Northern
Dude.
Illinois on Saturday. And then the Giants
Oh,
marched out on Sunday and looked somehow worse than they were last season.
yeah.
And I'm still excited to watch both of them play again. That's how big football is.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. No, you're not wrong. Dude, that Notre Dame loss is heartbreaking, especially now with
Unbelievable.
like that loss literally just took them out of the college football playoff.
Correct.
Literally.
Correct.
That's it. You're done. Sorry, Notre Dame.
After a huge win at A&M to start
Oh,
the season.
great win, great
Great win.
game.
Yeah.
Great game. That I'll tell you, that Notre Dame offensive line looked awesome.
And their defense
Awesome.
looked nasty.
Oh, looked beautiful, babe. Beautiful. Young Zordich is up there, babe.
Right?
But yeah, they just they took a big old hot steamer right on the chest of
Touchdown
all of us.
Jesus.
Yeah. They shit all over TDJ.
Okay. TDJ.
But you're still ready and raring to go this week and give them a hey.
I'll still have my green on Saturday.
Amen to that, brother. Okay. And yeah, like I said, you can hump all over a kitchen, but it doesn't matter. You'll never hump anything as much as you love football.
I've yet to hump anything that I love as much as football.
Amen to that, pal. Amen to that. Well, speaking of humping everything you love and football, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the one and only Bern Podcasy. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you the sweet content. And please make sure to check out all our shows, which air Tuesdays at 5 a.m. and then Fridays at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 shows a week. Please make sure you check them out, like, share, and subscribe. And we love you. And we need you. We need your help. So please keep helping us. Thanks. See ya!
Working Perspectives Podcast.
Please like and subscribe.